I fucking well hope it is. Because otherwise, I don't know what to do. Let's minimize use here and come back up. Okay, we get this, that. How about the other? There's the other. Okay, close that out. Where is this guy? This guy, that guy. Where the fuck is he? Why are you being such a pain in the ass about this thing? Do this. There we go. Okay. What? You got your Clyde the bot sending messages about nonsense. Okay. Yeah, Navi Veja. Okay, that's working again. Cool. All the passwords and things are protected. I just gotta make sure I don't accidentally open the file on stream, because that would be dumb. No, that's not what I want to do. Let's go up a level. I want to get rid of the temp file. That one. Okay, it's closed. Cool. So, what I've been working on recently is this. Well, one, I've been rejiggering the shit out of blackjack, which I have to look into for a minute because earlier, Blue won a game and won 450 parts off of a 25 part bet, which don't make no damn sense. So, that's the hand. It's going to be here in index. Now, the wager gets placed in. Let's collapse a bunch of this. The wager. Oh. So what we're going to do is move that down here. I think what happened, in fact, I'm pretty sure what happened, is he started a game, then bet more than what he bet for the first game, got that bet back. Yeah, I think that's what happened. That was very clumsy of me. What's up? Yeah, I gotta use the laptop for this. I don't have, like, most of the stuff I need to actually write software on my desktop anywhere. With that in mind, you know, I may miss some chat messages. Actually, hang on. Let me see if I can put my chat on my projector, and then to see what you guys are saying, all I gotta do is look up at the wall. Let's see. Twitch, not Twatch. I don't know what the fuck that would be. Now, let me see if I can find the thing that lets me cast this to. Switch to desktop mode, please. Thank you. Open with Chrome. Always. Again. I turned on two-factor authentication. Damn it. Verify. Switch to desktop mode, please. Thank you. And cast. Oh. Where's the thing that lets you Chromecast it? Maybe from here I can do it. Let's see. Cast. Come on, work. Go. Yeah. Oh, right. I have to override what I was casting. see, cast. Did it work? It looks like it might work. Well, it kind of does. Ah, shit, I'm not muted. How do I mute this? It does work, but there's an echo because, well, it kind of works. Like it's doing its best here. It cuts off one of the like the most recent line of what is it called? The last line of the chat, and it's kind of delayed, so I'm gonna try a different window and see if that works for me. Let's try this. Just cast the chat. There, that works. Cool. Works really well. I need to focus my projector. That's a later job. Oh, it doesn't auto scroll. What a fucker. All right. Well, you know what? We'll make do. But now I got this this giant wall of vision thing going on here. It works out pretty well. Okay. Like when I tab back to it, it scrolls it immediately. But until I tab back to it, it stays where it is. I think. Maybe if you say more things, it'll start to work. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, it's not a derpus. Anyway, so I was looking, and I'm pretty sure I figured out how you ended up with a huge bet that. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, it works. With that 25 gold or part bet that paid off 450. So what happened is we had this guy right here, right? This is the wager function. So this is the first thing that happens whenever you make a bet on blackjack. So it comes in here and it grabs your game data out of the data, or no, technically, if we expand this guy here, collapse you. That's for a later project that I want to do, but is not relevant to now. So whenever you make a wager, the first thing it does is it comes into this and it gets your game data by pulling your user information out of the the database, which it can either use this one, or if you don't have one, it'll use this default user to create a new one, stick it together. So it got your game data, came in here, and it set your wager to be... Oh, no, that wouldn't work either. I don't know how this fucking happened. You did something squirrely. I'm still moving this, though. So what I thought was happening was... Oh, no, yeah, that's what happened. Okay. So when you made a bet the first time, you started your regular hand. And then I think you did something that made it wager for you again. And when you wagered the second time, it set the wager value here, this guy is a part of your game data, to a higher value, but then went through and, well, no, that wouldn't work either, because it didn't get actually updated. I don't know. Whatever you did, it was squirrely. That means I'm going to have to look through... Let's see, what is the return ratio set to? Should just be 2. Yep. Let's see, was that a 21 win, or was that a regular one? I think it was a regular win. I think the dealer just busted. Do you still have that chat open? Can you scroll back up to it? I don't know if I can go back that far. But did you win by... by like winning, or did you win by? Oh shit, wrong. So the dealer busted. Okay, let's see. Did you double down, or was it a regular play? If you stayed, that means it went into here. Let's see. This is stay. Why is that happening? Oh, because the game is over at this point. Plus equals game data dot wager. Basically, something happened and it changed this wager value. Or changed the. Well, I don't think it changed the response ratio because that would have fucked with everybody. Everybody would just get piles of money. Wager plus equals it. Let's see if we can find anything that's been done to it. It's been subtracted from some stuff. It's been concatenated with a string. That's normal. I think I should probably get rid of this by now, but I don't know. I want to hang on to it just in case shit goes out of hand. I don't think it possibly could anymore, but yeah. Let's see. You bet 25. Oh, okay. I see what's happening. So you didn't win 450 off of a 25 bet. You already had a game going. You can tell that it says like the next response is one game at a time. So you probably already had a game running that was like where you would bet 125 or 225 or something. Yeah, it must have been 225. And then you ended up winning that game, and it just looked weird because you definitely had a game already active. Well, you know what? At least that makes sense now, and I'm not gonna have to try to figure that shit out. So, yay! Small victories. What have I changed since I opened this file? Um, okay, just moved the wager down to what? Okay, yeah, that's a better place to put it anyways. This way, I'm making sure you've set a wager first, then setting it down here. That's just a smarter way to do things. Usually when you're going to use a variable like that's being passed in, you want to make sure it exists first, because if you don't, your shit will explode. So, here's a blackjack mystery resolved, which is always good for me. Okay, so what I'm doing here. Here's the new database thing that stores and returns all the users in real time. I think it's super neat. What I've been working on most recently, though, is that tower thing we talked about. Right now, I've got functions in place for collecting rent. I think invest is done. Yep, invest is done. I haven't written upgrade. I have an idea for how you can basically build different types of floors, right? So I'm thinking you'll have um, a like a regular like apartment thing, which has pretty high rent, but only adds like 2 population to your tower, like 1 to 4 population to your tower. Then you'll have offices, which will give you less rent um, than the apartments would, but they'll add like 4 to 10 people to your tower. And then we'll have um, shops and restaurants. And then the shops and restaurants don't actually pay any rent. You make money off of those based on the number of people who are in your building. Like there's like a base level for it, like people who come into the building for that. But the more people you have in there, the more you make from the building because they buy stuff. I haven't worked out the math for that yet, but I think that would make sense. And then we might do other things that let you do stuff like you could be like a movie theater, and it doesn't make very much money normally, but on the weekend you might get a bunch. Like things that give you different income based on the time of day, or like the day of the week, or of the month. Like there's all kinds of cool stuff we could do with that. Let's see, I got this info function we got to write so that we can tell people what the rooms do. Otherwise, you're just going to have all these rooms and be like, well, what do I build? How do I build things? But I also had this idea for an upgrade system where after you'd built a floor, you could choose to either like invest to build a new floor or invest to upgrade the floor that like one of the floors that you already have. So instead of having like a studio apartment, now it's a loft apartment, and then it's like a condo. And then your shop goes from like a corner store to a boutique to like a fucking jewelry store or something. So you upgrade those, and then they give you more income based on how much you've upgraded them. But I'm kind of gonna put this off till later. This is a stretch goal. This is for a later time. This is for later times. Let's see. So we need build, and here's the calculate rent function. Return nothing. It's not a very complicated rent algorithm right now. So first things, let's see. Where was I at? Yes, I kind of worked on this a little bit yesterday night after I woke up from my couch coma. Let's see. Let's go and collapse some stuff down. Now, build. Build is, let's see, if game data invested is less than game data next for the next cost, then we're going to say stash spawn plot plus equals haven't got enough money to build a new floor yet. You cheap bastard. It's probably too much. And then otherwise, you didn't tell me what you wanted to build, so if not, what is it? Did I make a list of these? Let's see. Put up below this. This is gonna get everybody here. That's fine. Our basic towers or basic floors. We'll do office, shop, home. We'll call it a condo? No. Apartment. Or, you know what, we'll just make restaurants and shops different versions of one another. Yeah. We'll make a shop, a restaurant, an upgraded shop. No, maybe. Let's just do restaurant as a basic one for now. I'm not really sure how a restaurant would be different from a shop, so I'm not really sure that there's a point to having both. Yeah, we'll have both, fuck it. At first, maybe they'll all be the same, but then we'll figure out how to distinguish them more later on as we go. So, what do I call the building type? Looks like we have to build floor type. And we want to do this in this order. That way, if you forget to include it, I can send back an error message. Alright, fine, we'll put something back. There we go. Else if not rec dot, nope. Autocomplete got away from me there. Floor type. Response block plus equals. There we go. A little bit of sass for you, for not telling me what's going on. And else we do dot game data dot floors, did I call it? Dot params dot floor type. We just stuff the floor type in there. Oh wait, we gotta do one more. If index of, what do I call it, floor types? Basic floors dot index of dot params. Basically what this says is if you ask for whatever type of floor you tell me to build, it's going to look in this list of basic floors, and if that's not in there, it's not going to let you build it, so that you can't just be like, I want to build a zoo. It doesn't try to add weird non-existent shit to the stack of floors. That way later when we're calculating the rent, it doesn't just, So, 4 type is equal to -1. Response plot plus equals. Let's see. Ooh, actually, there's more work to this than just, okay, we can make that work. Let's see, you can build, let's see, well, how do I want to phrase this? The valid floors, no, that sounds like a robot. The available choices are, how do you spell available? Apartment, shop, office. And we'll get a little bit sassier here. We'll spit your words back at you. We'll do rec.params. There we go. And then we continue on. Now, what I've realized just now is that we need to make this into an object. And here is why. Building each of these has to do more than just like be inside the array of 4s. We need to adjust your population based on the thing that you've built. Mission, we're going to do, let's do 3 to 5. And rent from this office will be, let's see, let's say it only gets you 300 to 800. That might be a little bit high. Let's do, we'll have to play with these numbers. Let's do 200 to 500. 2 to 400, that'll work. And we'll do 4 to 6 on this bad boy. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm defining the different kinds of rooms as an object, so that whenever you build one, I know how much to increase the population of your tower by, and how much we should improve your rent. Some of these things are going to be a little bit trickier than I thought, but it's okay, we'll figure it out. What do we do? Office, apartment, population 1 to 4. No, that's so the office population isn't based on the number of people in the office. The draw of the office is that it gives you higher population, which is then going to make all of your restaurants, shops, and things like that pay out more. Let's see, this gets you 500. Nah, we'll go with 300 because you might just get like a shitty place. It does still provide you rent, but this is saying basically that when you build this thing and people occupy it, you're gonna get between 200 and 400. So that this is, I'm just making an array here, where think of it like this, where it's low value, high value, and what you're gonna get is gonna be something in the middle between those two things. Let's see. In fact, we'll call this a studio. Because we want to have an apartment for a better kind of apartment than this. Studio. You can make a shop. Shops do extra space before 800. What? Oh, no, that doesn't matter. You can put. We can get crazy with the spaces. The white space isn't actually for the computer. We could put all this on one line, and the computer would be just fine with it. It could just look like this, and the computer wouldn't care. The white space is just for our sanity, to make it easier for us puny humans to understand how this works and like what's going on. Oops, still got 2 lines selected. Okay, shops it starts to get weird with. So we'll do population. Okay, we'll see. Similarly, we'll do shops don't raise your population much because you don't have like a quirk, so you get 1 or 2 people in it. But their rent will give you a per population increase of, let's say, 50 per person in your building. Now that's got to be variable. I can't just do one. 30 to 50. This seems really low, but it's super low because, like, I'm just calling it rent. It's not the rent for this isn't actually going to calculate the same way that the other buildings do. I should probably write a function in each of these that determines how the rent's calculated for them. We'll get to that. Half that. It may well be. So 30, let's say you have 2 people from an apartment and 4 people from an office. That means your shop has brought you in, what? That's 6 people. What do you buy in a shop? Like, if you go to the grocery store and buy food, like, how much money do you spend? Hang on, I gotta fidget with my projector. Should only take a second. Just gonna put it in focus on this bad boy. No. So the top and bottom can't be in perfect focus at the same time. That's annoying. But it could be like an electronics store. Alright, we'll cut it down. Fine. We'll make it 15 to 25. That's fine. Then restaurant. Will increase your population. By, I don't know, 3 to 5. Because, you know, you got permanent people in the place. You get like the maitre d'. Yeah, that'll make sense there. But the rent is going to be way cheaper. Maybe like 5 to 10 per population out of that. Okay. I think that makes sense. Maybe if we add another aspect to the to this whole thing later, it'll start to come together more. Beyond just like how many people and how much money. Like a third thing would probably make this make more sense. Anyway, now let's go into this populate rent guy. Restaurant. So when we build, we do what? We push on a 4 times. That's the first thing. Then we do. What's up, Zyger? Recommendations? Hang on, I'll send you a recommendation for the best JavaScript book I've ever read. JavaScript, good parts. Find the Amazon link, Jesus. Come on, thing. Quit being a derpist. I don't want to buy a whole weird. Good old Doug Crockford. I would recommend this. Let's see. It's I don't know. It might be easy to manipulate, but I don't think so. Besides, you only get to get rent off, like generate rent from this once a day. So you know, you pull your money out of it, you blow it all in blackjack. Yeah, you're kind of done. Also, the algorithm I've got for making the for calculating the cost of the next floors should be ridiculous. Okay. So the next, let's see, we need to game data dot population plus equals. I should really write this out. I'm going to type this so many times. That's fine. I'll do it later. Calculate population. And then we're going to pass it the room type. No, we don't want to do it that way. We're going to do basic floors, sub, right dot params. And we have to change how this works because it will no longer work the same way. Because we've made this an object, we have to access into it and see if the thing we're accessing is still defined. Just gonna make things easier. Let's see. Make the params.for type, then now basic for, make the params.for type, population, and some of these need to be direct. No, they don't. No, that'll work. Okay, so that deals with population increase. Now we need the game data dot next cost plus equals. What we're gonna do? Let's increase it by 1,000. It's a little bit different than that. Think about it, I should have written this down yesterday when I figured out the math I wanted to use for this. The previous cost. See that plus game data dot floors 2 times 1,000. Yes, that'll work. Actually, we don't want to multiply that. We want to just add. So the first floor, we need to add 1. Take the height of your tower, add 1, divide it by 2, multiply by 1,000. It means on the first floor, you say, how much does it cost to build this? And it says 0. Well, you don't have any floors, so it'll be 0 plus 1 over 2 times 1,000. So your first building will cost, your first floor will cost 500. And your second one, so that's 1, so that'll be a 2 over 2, 1 times will be 1,000. I think that scales on a curve, but no. This is a linear scale, I think. Let me just be a curved scale. Let me get some paper here. Let's see, so it should be 500, then with 2. Yeah, it'll be just a regular 1,000, 3 to be 1,500. We don't want that kind of scale. That scale is too easy to break. We need to make this quadratic. Hmm. Well, that's 500 for the first floor, but basically the way it's scaling isn't, it doesn't scale fast enough to make it not self-sustaining by like 10 times over. Once we like drop these rent prices a bunch. 100 to 300, and 200 to 500. Like basically on 1 month studio rent, you'd be able to build the whole thing. Hey, what's up, Genji? How's it going? We're trying to figure out how, or the particulars of a basically text-based sim tower game for the chatbot. So we're trying to work out how we want the rules in this to function. Let's see. I don't want to square anything though. That's a bit heavy. Actually, we'll do this. We'll do square that. Divide it by 5. And multiply that by 1,000. So now, so I'm not going to do a different cost for building the building, like for building the floor and then building the room. That's too weird and confusing. And it would take too many lines of text to explain in the chat window. Basically, what I'm going to do is just be like, look, you built a floor. What do you want to put in it? And it just puts it there. And then later we'll have the upgrade thing. We can go back and be like, okay, you've got 10 of this kind of building and 10 of this kind of building and 10 of that kind of building. What do you want to upgrade? And you give it a type of building and it picks one and then like replaces it with a better version. Yeah, basically. Well, maybe. Like, you build an office and a shop. Let's say you get maximum population for your office. So you end up with 6 people, and you end up getting each of them to spend maximum price in the shop. You get, what? 25 times 6 is 250? No, less than that. 150? I can math. I can math like a wizard. 6 times 25 is, yeah, it's 150. So if you just built a studio for that floor, you could have gotten 500. But as things scale up and you start to have more and more people, then say you're 10 floors in now, or 20 floors in, you've got all these different kinds of um, actually that reminded me of something I was thinking of yesterday. Okay, but you've got like a bunch of different apartments. So like if you've got a population of 50 just from apartments, then building one more apartment that gives you another 500 isn't going to get you as much as building the shop, which will give you 15 per person in the apartment. So it's kind of a, you have to scale it how your game goes. Or you have to scale it with like, how the increase goes. Yeah, the more I think about this, the less sense this makes. I'm just going to get rid of restaurants for now. If we think of a reason to put them in later, we'll just put them back. But like as it is now, the restaurant is just a better shop. Yeah, that'll work. Let me see if this math works. So, oh, shit, I need a fucking chart. Yeah, we're student text. So we got, what do I do? H squared over 5 times 1,000. So when H is 1, then it becomes 1/5 times 1,000. For the first 4 would end up costing, that's 200. Then it becomes 4 over 5 times 1,000, which is then 800. Then 9 over 5 times 1,000. Yeah, I think this math works. It's 200. I'm afraid it's going to scale up too fast, though. We have to change some of this around a little bit more. Because it starts getting weird as you get to 1 point, what is this? 1.8, I think. Then your third 4 costs 1,800. The fourth 4 would be more than that even. 16 over 5 is 3.2. 3,200. Yeah, it starts to get pretty expensive pretty fast. So that's probably not how we want to do this. But we do want to scale on a curve. Okay. What if we do each times 1,000? So it's 1,000 base cost for every 4. Well, that makes it really cheap. Basically, it just knocks off a 0 every time. But we might do plus h squared times 100. Times 100. That's still faster than I want to go up. Times 10? No. Let's see. I'm using this new X. Like a fucking grown up. So we get for 1 4. And I have to set the cost for the first 4 because it doesn't. X plus 1 times that. So we end up with, for if you have no 4s, then it becomes 500 plus 0. 1 4, it becomes 1,000 plus 50. No, plus 500. Jesus. I think. I know, it just becomes 1,100. 0, 1, 2. So that becomes 3 times 500, that's 1,500 plus what? 900. I think this actually scales faster than the last way. 3 units with 2,000. Yeah, so that's plus 900. Shit. I tried to make it slower and it just goes faster. I don't understand. Let's see. Oh, shit. Yeah, because that's starting to get silly at this point. I don't think I want it to cost quite this much to upgrade. I just want it to be nice round numbers, though. Oh, yeah, I typed the wrong number there. Oh, fuck it, we'll just do this. That'll be fine. It'll be super cheap to start out, and then it'll start getting more and more expensive. Because that's already scaling pretty fucking quickly. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm going to slow that down a little bit. If I divide it by 2, let's see. That's no different than just multiplying by 50. 50 bucks. 200 bucks. 450 bucks. 900. Yeah, that'll scale. You'll see it'll scale faster than you think. Okay, so next cost equals. Nope, not this. This is too expensive. I think I do have to add 1 to it though. Because it's 0, it doesn't work at all. It's going to be. Shit. 4. Yeah, do that first. Place the second power. All times 50. Hopefully the order of operations works like normal. And none of this shit's going to go insane. What is it? 1. Yeah. I think I gotta set the default value so it's not all jacked up whenever someone makes a new tower for the first time. The next cost is going to be 1 squared, which is 1, times 50. Just 50. It costs 50 bucks to get started. Try now. Okay. So that increases our population, increases our floors, sets the next cost. Now we need to do current investment up here minus equals game data about next cost. That way, if you like invest like 500 or something, and you only need 50, you still have that 400 sitting in your investment queue, waiting to be used up. Yeah, that'll work. Let me reassign it. Stash user game data tower equals game data neat and tidy. I think that'll do it. Now, whoops. Let's see. We do have to say something so as to not, come off as dicks. But what do we say? So now we need to write the function that tells us about the tower that we have. So, function, what we'll do, we'll just do I don't want to do that way. Use pretty sure this is how this works. I'm a little bit rusty, but I'm fairly certain I can just do this guy and called get game data. Like this, and not have to call this fucking 10 times. Because we're going to use this anytime anyone makes a request. Or is this not router that I use? I've not messed with this weird routing type. Let's see. Use some Express API. Yes, thank you. This is like 3/4 of software engineering right here, just looking shit up on the internet. Let's see, give me the router object. API reference is what I want. That is what I want here. Nope. Nope. Stop it. I know what routing is. Special routing method all, which is not derived from. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. Route paths. Hey, that's app.get, not what I'm looking for. Route handlers. Robots in disguise. Response method. Huh. I've never done end. What do you do here? I've never. I damn near I've ever done this. Oh no, I know everyone does this. This is seriously like how this works. It's what the job is. It's in files, in status, app.route. This is what I'm talking about. This guy right here. What can I do with you, express router? .use. Oh, okay, it's just router.use. That makes sense. Just the router.use. We want to specify a path is going to be for all paths, so it'll just be get game data. And then at the end here, which I think this still works, update and respond. I may go through and update some of the blackjack stuff to be more modular, to be more in line with how I'm doing this here, because some parts of it are really just all over the place, and there's a lot of repeated code that I think I could get away with not having. I think that's how that works. Quiet birds. Because it knows that this handles birds and birds about. Oh yeah, I actually do this in my routing. Basically, we set up a sub router, which is this guy here. Well, these are only routes that are specific to this specific API. But whenever we go through and initialize everything, we go through every router and add that router into the excuse me. Well, we initialize the API guy, and then we take its route and build that into the application. It's kind of neat, and that way we can just keep adding these things on, and we don't actually have to do any extra work to incorporate it into the application as a whole. We just plug it in. Speaking of, let's see if this stuff still all executes. Seems to. No, I don't think I actually have this included right now. Nope. Do I have an index? Oh, this is the index for this. Right. That makes sense. Let's see if it executes. Oh, crashed on load. Let's see. Cannot find libutil. Really? Pretty sure that was pretty fucking common. Oh, pardon me. Okay. Let's see. We should go up a level and go into lib. No, that should definitely exist. Let's take a look real quick at, let's say that. Libutils. This motherfucker is plural. We did it. Try again. Oh no, I didn't give it a name. Yeah, I did. What the hell's that about? Stop it. Fucking slide down top menu thingy. Name of undefined. Require tower, which is what I called it. You export that, which is correctly spelled. We should collapse, keep this shit collapsed by default. Module.exports equals what API? No. Thing, you gotta quit. You gotta quit being so sensitive about all this. You're making it difficult. Just stick this down here below. Maybe it's like, I don't know what that is yet. Tower API. Yep, that was it. Can't read property use undefined. Well, that's not good. Why is it undefined? It shouldn't be. I can tell because I'm, using it a bunch. 934. Oh. Oh, right. I told it couldn't have app anymore, so don't actually get that whenever it is. Does it require it? Where's my init function? No, init doesn't take that anymore. I gotta get rid of that. Get rid of you. Just fix it in all the places real quick. I forgot a while ago I changed how this whole thing is structured so as to not give any one sub-application control of the whole application. except the initializer here, and it doesn't pass that along. It just might say, okay, here's this, because I could pass it right here and give it to it, but I don't want to crash it. Yeah, routers are important. Routers are what decide. Oh, you've left. Well, let me know when you're back. I'll tell you what they do. Hey, look at that. It initializes successfully. That doesn't mean it works, but it does mean that it doesn't crash. Let's see. Rent. Ah. Give the gambit. Let's see. Rent. Calculate the rent. Total collected. That. This. Oh, shit. Drinking liquids. What a diet of non-liquid. Let's see, what do we got going on here? Jesus Christ, this thing's gonna burst into flames. What is my laptop doing? Oh, that's what it's doing. That makes sense. Close a couple of these out. Don't need quite this many Tmux instances. Okay. Just can't even load the pages. Alright. I think we have to stop this for a bit because otherwise my laptop is going to burst into flames. It's not apparently meant for this. I guess I could go over into the kitchen here. See if it does any better when it's plugged in, but somehow I doubt it. Where's OBS? You still working? Where's OBS? There it is. Whoa! Well, that's us into infinity. Okay. Minimize that. And this. Jesus Christ, this battery's going real fast. Anyway, what are we doing? Let's see if we can't get like one more thing done before this thing crashes out. So, you can close. You can save. Let's see. New tower is now game data dot more. Okay, this needs to go again. Information. Now, game data dot population. Stash response block. Next floor. Cost. Plus equals game data dot next cost. What's that weird P? I gotta write that like somewhere I can just access it easily without digging it up and copy pasting it every time. There we go. Okay. I think that does it. Okay. Let's see. Nope. Close room right here. We'll close this scratch pad we got open. Don't need it right now. Don't save that. And we will close the base API index. Okay. We define this, collapse. So, there we go. Do all this, store game data, we go to the next function, it goes to, hopefully, update and respond, send a response out to the user. Perfect. Perfect and cool. Alright. Shit, alright. Well, my battery in my laptop is gonna die, so I think we gotta stop this here tonight. Also, it's like midnight, which is plenty late, and I think we've got a pretty good start on this tower thing. I'll chip away at it tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow, but next time I've got some spare time, and we'll see if we can't make a game out of this yet. Maybe this weekend we can have some kind of prototype up and running. Anyway, dude, I will talk to you later. Why won't ABS open again? I guess I can just never leave. Anyways, take it easy, dude.